Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to build a practical toolkit. We're talking about essential English phrases that will seriously boost your confidence in everyday chats. So let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? You're in a conversation, you know exactly what you want to say, but your brain just can't find the right words. We have all been there. It's a super common challenge, but honestly, just having a few key phrases in your back pocket can completely change the game.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll build your daily conversation toolkit. Then, we'll cover how to ask for help. After that, it's all about mastering workplace communication and building stronger connections. And we'll wrap it up by talking about your next conversation. Okay, first things first, the absolute basics. These are the phrases you'll lean on again and again. They're the foundation for clear, polite communication, no matter where you are. Let's kick things off with a simple one, but trust me, it is a lifesaver. Could you please repeat that? This is your number one go-to anytime you didn't quite hear what someone said.
So picture this. You're in a loud cafe, or the phone connection is just terrible. Using this phrase isn't admitting defeat. It shows you're paying attention and that you really want to understand, which is always a good thing.
Now this next one is a little different. It's not about hearing the words, it's about understanding their meaning. It's a really polite and direct way to signal that you need a little more explanation.
And this is so important. Asking for clarity is not a weakness. Actually, it's a sign that you're engaged and you care about the conversation. It is totally 100% okay to ask someone to explain something again, or maybe just slow down a bit.
All right, now for the heavy hitters of politeness. Nice to meet you gets any new interaction off to a great start. Thank you and you're welcome are just fundamental. You gotta have them. And excuse me is like a Swiss Army knife. You can use it to get someone's attention, to squeeze through a crowd, or even for a tiny apology.
Okay, we've got the basics of understanding down. Now, let's switch gears and talk about proactively asking for what you need. This is where you really start to take control of the conversation.
You know, context is absolutely everything here. If you're with a friend or maybe talking to staff in a store, "Can you help me please?" is perfect. It's friendly, it's direct. But switch to the office and something like, "I need your assistance," just has a more professional ring to it, right? It's all about matching your words to the situation.
And speaking of the workplace, let's zoom in on a few specific phrases that will really help you shine in a professional setting.
Think of making a request at work like a simple three-step recipe. Step 1, get their attention politely. Something like, "Excuse me." Step 2, state your request clearly. "Could you send me the report?" And step 3, this is a big one, add a time frame if you need to manage expectations. By the end of the day, see, it's clear, respectful, and super efficient. Meetings and schedules, they're a huge part of work, right? So if you need more info, asking, "Could you explain that in more detail?" shows you're really trying to understand. If you need to jump in without being rude, "May I interrupt you for a moment?" is your best friend. And when things change, a simple, "Could we reschedule our appointment?" is the most polite way to go. So, we've covered a lot of the functional stuff. Now, let's talk about the fun part, using language to actually build rapport and create really positive relationships, both at work and everywhere else.
Never, ever underestimate the power of a simple, genuine compliment. Saying something like, "You did a fantastic job," does way more than just state a fact. It's one of the fastest ways to build goodwill and make someone feel genuinely appreciated. And the impact is just huge. When you give a real compliment, you're not just being nice. You're actively creating a more positive vibe around you, and you're boosting morale. You're making people feel seen, and that is so powerful.
Let's look at 3 more phrases that are total game changers for building connections. "I appreciate your assistance" is just a deeper, more formal way to say thanks. Offering help with, "Can I assist you with anything?" shows you're a team player. And a sincere, "I apologize for the inconvenience" shows you can take responsibility. That builds a ton of respect. All right, so we've put together this amazing toolkit. But you know, the final step, and honestly the most important one, is to actually open it up and start using these tools.
If you take away just a few things today, let it be these 4. 1, politeness is your foundation. 2, asking for clarity shows you're listening, it's a strength. 3, always, always match the phrase to the situation. And 4, the big one. The only way to build real confidence is to get out there and practice. So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with a question. Of all these phrases we talked about today, which one are you going to try out first in your next conversation? Because that moment right there, that's where the real learning begins.
Thanks so much for tuning in.